Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And in today's episode, the topic is, was Nick Wright dead wrong about the Clippers? So that's the topic I want to get into in today's video. But before we get into that, I want you guys to please make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Also be on the lookout for our Dreamerspro Premium community, and also be on the lookout for Dreamerspro.com. So anyway, let me get into the topic here. So it's been a while since I've spoken about Nick Wright. Nick Wright is on TV, running amok, doing his thing. And it's been a while since I've spoken about Nick Wright. So I said, let me touch on Nick Wright. Let me see what this guy's up to. Let me get on this case a little bit. So we all know when the season started, Nick Wright wasn't too high on the Clippers. Not at all, really. When the season started, he was making fun of some of the acquisitions that the Clippers made. He made fun of Serge Ibaka, but one particular acquisition he made a lot of fun of was of Nicholas Batum. I don't know if you guys remember this, but when the season started, Nick Wright was making fun of the addition of Nicholas Batum, and I think this was even after the Clippers came out and won their first two games, which are two very important games. Number one against the Lakers and number two against the Denver Nuggets. He made a lot of fun about it. Like, Nicholas Batum, that's going to be the guy that's going to help the Clippers? Are you kidding me? Nicholas Batum, guys, oh my God, guys, I can't wait. This is beautiful. This is wonderful. Oh my God, Chris, I love it. Just wait and see. All right, you know him. You know how he does. So he made fun of Nicholas Batum, the acquisition of Nicholas Batum. And Nicholas Batum has been so bad for the Clippers that he ended up being a starter for them. What do you know? The guy that was supposed to go out there and replace John Michael Green, who went to go play with the Denver Nuggets, ended up being a starter. So this guy, he must be having a terrible season. So he started off with that. Then his antics continued. Then he went on to this tier system that he created where he gives out awards, which is a very silly thing. But anyway, this weekly awards or daily awards that they do where they give out gold, bronze, and silver, gold, bronze, whatever, to certain players who play well in that particular night. And in all of them, he's giving out these awards. And I think Kawhi for sure never got a gold, right? Never got a gold. He's giving Kawhi silver or bronze. Kawhi's playing good and this and this and this and this. Then there was another moment where he had his ranking of players in the NBA, and he stupidly put Kawhi Leonard in the third rank, and he put Luka Doncic and all of these guys ahead of Kawhi Leonard. I'm sure you guys remember that foolishness. He did that as well. So Nick Wright has been very disrespectful and dismissive about Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers this season, right? Just one stupid statement after the next. One after the other. And meanwhile, while all of this is happening, what's been happening with the Clippers? Right now, the Clippers have the number 2 seed in the Western Conference. Number 3, excuse me. They won their last 4 games. 4 of those games that they just won was without their second best player, Paul George. 2 of those games without their best player, Kawhi Leonard. And the last win that the Clippers just got was without 4 starters: Nicholas Batum, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, and Patrick Beverley, right? These are the sorry Clippers, according to Nick Wright. Now, both Kawhi Leonard and Paul George are having MVP seasons. If you guys don't know, Paul George is having a 50-40-90 season, averaging 24.5 points per game, shooting 51% from the field, 48% from the 3, 90% from the free throw line, getting you 5.5 assists, 6.1 rebounds, and over 1 steal a game. That's Paul George. Kawhi Leonard, who I haven't checked his stats in a while, is averaging virtually 27 points per game, 26.7 points per game, shooting 51% from the field, 39% from the 3, 88% from the free throw line, getting you 6 rebounds a game, getting you 5 assists a game, and 1.8 steals, right? These are their 2 co-stars, right? And to me, in my opinion, I think this is the best duo in the NBA currently. Now, Anthony Davis can pick up his game later on when he comes back from his injury, and then things may change, right? But for me, if I'm looking at these 2 stars, this is the best duo in the NBA. In my opinion, they're averaging close to 50 points per game, about 50 points per game. But they're just so lethal. They're so efficient, and they play great defense. So to me, I think this is the best duo in the NBA. Now, the Clippers are also top 5 in offense and in defense. The Clippers are the number 5th ranked team in defense, okay? But the Clippers are also one of the top scoring teams in the NBA. I think they're the top 3 team in scoring in the NBA. If I look at the NBA season stats, yes, they're the 3rd highest scoring team behind the Brooklyn Nets and Milwaukee Bucks. They're scoring 116.1 points per game, okay? The Clippers are also top 3 in field goal percentage, shooting 48.7% from the floor in the NBA. They're the number 1 team in free throw percentage, shooting 84.7 percentage points per game, which means if you foul them late in games, they're gonna make you pay for it. Then the number 1 shooting 3-point shooting team in the NBA by 2 percentage points. So they're 2 percentage points clear of the Brooklyn Nets, who are number 2. They're shooting 42.4% from the 3-point line, right? This NBA. Their role players are playing extremely well. They upgraded their coaching from Doc Rivers to Tyronn Lue. Now, some people may say, how can Tyronn Lue be an upgrade from Doc Rivers? Well, hold on a minute. Doc Rivers and Tyronn Lue have exactly the same amount of championship rings, right? So as far as accomplishment, now, Doc Rivers has more wins than Tyronn Lue as a coach, but they said they have the same amount of jewelry if we're going to talk about their tenure as being coaches, right? So they're doing that. With the exception of LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard may be having also one of the best seasons in the Western Conference, right? So they have that as well. Now, given the fact that Nick Wright has been so down on the Clippers, my question is this. The Clippers have been playing so well up until this point, and no one is mentioning them, none of their players for regular season MVP, not Nick Wright, not Stephen A. Smith, Max Kellerman briefly mentioned. And my question is, if he's been so wrong about the Clippers up until this point, do you think he will continue to be wrong about this team as the season moves forward? Because let me tell you something. So far, he's been wrong. He's been wrong about the acquisitions that they've made. He's been wrong about their record. They've beaten some of the best teams, including his Lakers. They beat the Lakers this season, right? So for me, I think he's been wrong about this team, right? A lot of people didn't expect Paul George to have such a bounce back season. Who knew that after what he went through in the NBA bubble last season, especially in that second round, being so inconsistent. If I read you all Paul George's numbers, he was so inconsistent. If you thought that Paul George wasn't good in the regular season last season, he was even worse in the playoffs. Paul George averaged 20 points per game in the playoffs. He shot 40% from the field, just under 39.8, but I'm going to be kind, 40% from the field. He shot 33% from the 3. He did shoot well from the 3-point line, but he was abysmal because he was on and off. For that guy, after hitting the side of the backboard, after all of the things that was made about, after the statements he made after that loss, all of the things that were said about him, for him to come back and have a 50, 40, 90 season lets you know the type of mission that this team is on. And I think the Clippers need to use the Nick Wrights of the world as motivation, because then he's not going to give them their props. Even if the Clippers get the number 1 seed in the Western Conference, it's not like all of a sudden they're going to say, oh, Kawhi Leonard or Paul George should be the regular season MVP. That's not going to happen. But for me, I think it's going to be pretty funny that if in the end the Clippers end up going far in the playoffs, like maybe making it to the Western Conference Finals or even making it to the finals, I think it's going to be hilarious to watch Nick Wright, because he never really liked this team, right? They always joke about it that he doesn't like Kawhi Leonard and all of this stuff, but so far with All-Star break, fastly approaching, I think it's safe to say that he's been wrong about this team. Now, some people may disagree, but to me, I think he's been wrong. So what I want to know from you guys is, do you think Nick Wright has been dead wrong about the Clippers up until this point? Or do you think that he's been right? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Again, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Again, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out the next video that we have coming up. Once again, this is Charles here from Dreamerspro, wishing you guys an amazing day and catch you guys on the next episode. Peace.